With regards to Brexit between the European Union and the United Kingdom, we can say that more for the European Union, it has been the most important trigger and decisive political factor where the previous governments have been rolled out, chaired by Theresa May, and has the current Prime Minister Boris Johnson in suspense, because after having invented to separate from the European Union, the last governments of the United Kingdom have been delivered in their internal politics. That is to say, they themselves invented their own Trojan horse and they have given it to them, producing political and institutional instability not only of the government, but there has been intervention by the judicial courts of the Great Britain and even the protocol intervention of the very Queen Elizabeth II by authorizing him early closure of the Parliament by simple report accommodated by his Prime Minister Boris Johnson. To avoid this, the Parliament and the Labour opposition and even some members of the Conservative Party, to which Prime Minister Johnson himself belongs. This has been a constitutional crisis and therefore institutional precedent in the United Kingdom. Mr. Johnson is changing his position not because he is changing or modifying or softening his position, but because he is trying to continue his power, since his permanence in the British government is depending on how events unfold in relation to separation with or without agreement with the European Union. There have been political setbacks that Boris Johnson did not expect. The opposition in Great Britain and the cutting of the European Union in their negotiations has it at crossroads, which until now the only sure thing is seen is that departure of Mr. Johnson from the government. That is why Johnson asked for 3 more months, when he said before that he would not give in to the extensions requested by his opponents and the European Union. You must reinvent your speech, for Johnson must now be thinking more than in the exit of Great Britain. It is in his exit or permanence in him government that he presides. The departure of the United Kingdom is going to produce short-term, with the supposed support of the United States government, an immediate well-being, but that in the medium term and worse in the long term will produce not only geographical but also economic and political isolation from Great Britain. It is important that an agreement be reached so that these effects don't cause any further damage in the English economy.